Matt Lefleuer tries to shut down the narrative that Jordan Love regressed this past season. And now, with the new season coming up, I'm just here to say he didn't regress. This is exactly who he's been the entire time. Y'all know we're going to talk about it and break it down right after this.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. So if you tuned in with me, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. Now, my man's Matt Lefleuer, head coach of the Green Bay Packers, pretty much tried to dismiss the narrative that Jordan Love regressed. And I'm here to say, he didn't regress. He's been the same damn person the entire time. But Matt Lefleuer went on to say, I think there's like a narrative out there for whatever reason that he, Jordan Love, wasn't as productive as the year before. Well, he missed significant time. He missed a better of 3 games. Really, it was Indy, it was Tennessee. He went out in Jacksonville, and then he went out in Chicago. So, 3 games is a significant amount of time, and you're not going to produce as much from a numbers perspective. And also, let's be honest, we talked about this. We did have a lot of drops last year. So there's other circumstances that play into it. I think all in all, everybody is going to be better though. End quote from my man's Matt LeFleur. Now, when you look at Jordan Love, I think that Jordan Love is a good quarterback who still has to find his way to be consistent. That's the only thing I've always said. I remember back in 2023 when Jordan Love started his first season with the Green Bay Packers. It was an up and down season, but a lot of people went out there and they overhyped a good half of a season, which was the most important half of the season for Jordan Love in the Green Bay Packers. But if you remember correctly, the Green Bay Packers started that season 3-6 before they got hot and ended the season 6-2 to go on and make the playoffs. And then in the playoffs, they beat Dallas in the first round and then lost in the second round versus the San Francisco 49ers. But at that time, not necessarily just being the Green Bay Packers hater that I can sometimes be, but speaking objectively about the Green Bay Packers, they are a really good team with a quarterback that is good, but struggles to be consistent when it's absolutely necessary. Now, when we talk about the 2023 season, you look at the 2023 season and you look at that 8-game stretch to where Jordan Love, I can't even hold you. He was on the money. He was doing a lot of good stuff, but it was a lot of things during those games from the outside looking in. I'm like, bro, he's throwing up Hail Marys and guys are just coming down with the football. And at times, yes, that stuff looks good for a highlight, but how sustainable to winning is that for a said organization like the Green Bay Packers, who have done a great job placing young talent all around on this team every single year. And the expectations, even moving forward in this year, is that they will be a playoff contender. But if we look at the 2023 season, during that 6-2 winning streak, yes, they beat guys like the Los Angeles Chargers, but the Los Angeles Chargers at that moment were not with Jim Harbaugh at that time. They were still dealing with Brandon Staley, and he was one of those guys to where you're like, man, this guy really is on the hot seat, and he about to be out of there. And then you look at wins against Detroit. Then you look at Kansas City. You look at the New York Giants, Carolina, Minnesota, Chicago. Very impressive. But again, inconsistent play, at least from how I viewed it, when you look at Jordan Love in that aspect. So then you get them to the playoffs, and then you go into 2024, this past season, and you expect the Green Bay Packers to at least get back to where they previously were in 2023. And Jordan Love, he struggled when it mattered the most, in my personal opinion. So you look at this guy and you say, hey, Jordan Love, We need you to be consistently good for the Green Bay Packers. But then when you look at stuff, you see you suffer losses to Minnesota, you suffer losses to the Chicago Bears, you suffer losses to the Detroit Lions, and virtually, if we call it how we see it, they would have went 0-6 within their division without a tip field goal that happened versus the Chicago Bears. Not you ain't not you you're not if you're Jordan Love and you're that good, that's not supposed to happen. And that's just how we gotta call it. We gotta call it how we see it. Now the narrative that he say that he regressed, I don't necessarily think he regressed. He just been the same damn quarterback since he's been the starter. It's the same quarterback. The same quarterback. It's really right there for the taking, and you look at it for what it really is. You look at in 2023 as a full-time starter, my man's went out there through 11 uh interceptions to 32 touchdowns. Then last year, you say there's some regression in the touchdown aspect because he only threw 25, but it was still 25 touchdowns to 11 interceptions with less yards, a little bit of a decrease in completion percentage, but Jordan Love hasn't changed. He's still the same damn quarterback. Now going into 2025, you look at Jordan Love and say, hey, can you take the step forward now? You've had 2 seasons under your belt now. Can you rise to the occasion and get the Green Bay Packers back to the top of the division and back to being good playoff contenders in this NFL, in the NFC, that's seeming like that it's gaining some momentum all around the NFC. You're seeing teams like the Chicago Bears improve. You're seeing teams within his division like the Minnesota Vikings beef up their trenches. And the only question that we really have is J.J. McCarthy really going to be like that? You look over to the NFC East. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles and say they're going to be right there, reigning Super Bowl champions with the Washington Commanders right on their backside, and seeing if the Washington Commanders, after going to the NFC Championship this past season, can they do it again? So it's only getting tougher for everybody in the NFC. It's only getting tougher for everybody in the NFC. So I agree. I don't think Jordan Love has regressed. I think Jordan Love has been the same quarterback since he's been a starter. Now, the question is, can he take the step forward? Because you look at that, even the teams in the NFC South, you got Tampa Bay, you got Atlanta, who made some really good changes and had a good offseason. You're looking at Bryce Young, who kind of looked a little like something at the end of last season. And now you're trying to see if he can prove himself a little bit more. You look to the NFC West, you see the Los Angeles Rams get better. You see that the Arizona Cardinals beef up their defensive side of the ball. So it's only going to get tougher within this conference in the NFC. So you want to see if Jordan Love can rise to the occasion. Can you, number one, take care of the football when it matters? Can you win the games in your division when it matters? Because 1-5 within your division in that tough NFC North, it's not good enough for a guy that's paid that much money. And Jordan Love, hey, all hate aside, he's talented. He's talented. It's not about the regression. It's about now being consistent. And if you don't feel it, just don't feel it. But that's okay. You don't have to feel it. But if you real with yourself and you look at it for what it really is, you say, hey, Jordan Love is a talented quarterback. And you know that sometimes there's downfalls with him constantly throwing Hail Marys up in the air and hoping that his receivers are going to come down with the football. Instead of taking what Matt Lefleur is drawing up for him and taking what the defense is giving them, a lot of the times you find Jordan Love throwing off that back foot, launching it in the air, and hoping that a receiver could come down for it. And now we're seeing that type of play style starting to catch up with him. And you want to see him be consistently good when it comes to accuracy. You know what I'm saying? The short to intermediate stuff. And then you can go ahead and take those shots down the field. I believe he's very, very capable. I ain't gonna lie to you, as a Bears fan, I don't necessarily know or hope that he outshines my Bears. But if we speak it objectively, he got all the tools right there ready for him. You know what I'm saying? We heard the Green Bay Packers fans say y'all got 4 number ones. Now apparently y'all got 5 number ones with Matthew Golden on the team. But I will mention there will be some challenges for this Green Bay Packers team. You are already looking at Jaden Reed. I love the kid. Hell of a football player. You want to make sure he stays you know what I'm saying, consistently good and take a step forward. You're looking at Matthew Golden, who's now going to be the highest paid player in the wide receiver room with the annual salary, at least for right now, who's going to have to come in and get right away. Christian Watson suffering that injury this past season. Feel bad for the guy because I like the guy's talent as well. As a fan of football, when it comes to rivalries, we can hate. But if you speak it objectively, you're looking from the outside in as a fan of football, you can't hate that the Green Bay Packers have the talent. But the quarterback has to be consistent. That's it. Be consistently good. And I'm not saying he can't go out there and have a bad game. I'm not saying he can't go out there and have a few bad possessions. But when it matters, when the chips are pushed into the table, Jordan Love has to execute. That's what it comes down to. The same thing can be said for the Chicago Bears quarterback. The same thing can be said for Jared Goff. And the same thing is going to be an expectation for JJ McCarthy. No one's going to care that this is his first full year starting as a quarterback. We're going to say, hey, okay, cool. You had a few weeks. Now, are you going to be a consistently good quarterback? So, yes, I agree 100% with Matt Lefleuer. There is no regression. You might look at touchdowns and say, why he couldn't put up 30 touchdowns again? I don't think that's the end all be all, personally. I think that when you look at stats and you marry it with the film, that's how you evaluate talent. You got to marry the stats with the film. You just can't be a box score watcher. You got to look at everything for what it is. So when it comes down to Jordan Love, I agree. He did not regress. He's exactly how he is exactly what we thought he was. Now the question is, can Jordan Love take the step forward? It's going to be very, very interesting. And when it comes down to it, you can't sit there and go 1-5 in this division with that talent on that team. That defense is not bad. They added talent on that defense. That O-line is not bad. You got talent on that O-line. Your wide receiver room is loaded with talent. And you got a number of very good running back in the backfield. Jordan Love just has to be consistent for the Green Bay Packers. I don't know what the season's going to be for the Green Bay Packers. Personally, I think they're going to be all right. But it's all going to be on the hands of Jordan Love. And again, speaking objectively here, I know you see the Bears stuff. You might be like, damn, how is this Bear guy going to speak on it? It's an NFL show. I get to rep my team. You rep your team. But as long as we speaking objectively here, there should be no problems, right? Should be no problems, right? That's all I'm saying. So we'll see what the season holds up for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. But again, I'm 100% with Matt LeFleur. There's no regression. He just has to be better. He was the same quarterback that we seen in 2023 that we got in 2024. Now it's about, can you reach another level? Because a lot of people are not feeling good about Jordan Love. I was never head over heels over him. I can acknowledge that Jordan Love was good, but I wanted to see more out of Jordan Love to say, damn, he's an A plus quarterback, or he's an elite quarterback. He's not in that caliber of elite yet. Can he get there? It's going to be all up on him. It starts with consistently being good, though. You know what I'm saying? I understand that sometimes seasons don't start off well and you can end them on a hot streak. I understand you can start off hot and you can end cold. But for Jordan Love's sake, we need a consistently good season out of Jordan Love. So I'm with it. No regression. He's exactly who we thought he was. That's Jordan Love. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of NFL Central. Make sure before y'all get up out of here, y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and you hit that notification bell as well, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you always love football no matter who you root for. Thank y'all so much. I'll catch y'all on the next for sure.